Hi everyone, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. I will be your guide today as we channel these divine messages. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a deep dive into your Akashic Records to reveal any messages or guidance to help you along the path at the time that you are tuning into these readings. So thank you all for joining me here today on my channel. We have 3 pile choices for you to choose from today. So let's go ahead and get your significator cards to help you choose your pile. We're going to ask for 3 cards, which those are 3 cards. That was pretty fast. Alright, so for pile number 1, you have Sacred Union, and that is with Fulgurite, which is crystallized lightning. That was really good. So for me, it was like messages from heaven being grounded here on earth. Pile number 2, you have Sanctuary, and that is with Nirvana Quartz. And this is a stone that is from the Himalayan glaciers. As they are melting, they are finding all these crystallized formations. So this is like centuries of minerals that have been formed within or because of the glacier. All right, and number 3, we have Self-Mastery, and that is with this Lemurian seed quartz crystal. And this one has lots of lines on here, which are the records. Alright, these are your 3 pile choices. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps are going to be in the description box below, and I will see you all at your readings. Hi, pile number 1. You were drawn to the Sacred Union card along with the Fulgurite crystal. And Fulgurite, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a crystal, it's actually glass. It's made when lightning strikes the earth and hits the sand, hits the ground. It forms these tube-like formations, and it signifies a time of transformation and change, of shifting out of old patterns. It also is like, it serves as an awakening tool, so it brings in that fire, that inspiration for change and movement. It's like sudden change, things that need to be shifted. And it's also really good for connecting to the divine as well and having spiritual guidance. Alright, so we have Mother Shakti Kundalini Sacred Union. Ecstasy calls, within lies the pure transcendent life force of connection to your inner beloved. So this card is about having that sacred union within your own heart, where you have blended the masculine and feminine energies, healed the ego, healed the inner child, and have come to that sacred union within. But it's also about awakening to deeper levels within yourself, connecting more to your higher self, your oversoul here. But it's also about releasing patterns and things that are in your life. Perhaps there could be, maybe it's about attracting the right mate and having right relationships, not only with yourself, but with other people. So maybe there are patterns that need to be shifted and changed within the relationship with an individual. Yeah, so there may be some awakenings or disruptions taking place. This is the information coming from your Akashic Records. So this might be the phase that you're about to step into. Alright, I do have some cards that were pre-shuffled and pulled before the readings to save us some time. Alright, so we have freedom. Alright, so that's a little more confirmation. Maybe setting yourself free from some kind of connection that you have either to the past or within a relationship with an individual, because we have two people here. And freedom, more transformation. And we have the snake, you know, I mean, the snake represents the kundalini. It also represents the patterns and the choices that we make, you know, in our evolution. We, as we grow and learn and we attain more wisdom, we end up shedding layers. We heal ourselves, we regenerate ourselves, and it's like that new skin. Anytime you're going through a transformation or a healing process, you become something new, you know, you transform. With the dragonfly here, let's see. We have the ether, the seamless, unspeakable. This is about choices here. The freedom to choose. And that's the thing, we always have a choice. We can continue to stay in relationships with individuals that don't make us feel connected or appreciated or valued or seen. Or we can choose to decide that we are worth more and to love ourselves more. And the love that we're giving, that's kind of, it's not like it's being wasted, because any energy and love and compassion and intent that you send out, even if it's going to an individual who's not receiving it, the energy is still being used and applied where it needs to go. So if you're pouring your heart and love and energy and time into somebody who's not really, you know, using it and valuing it, it's going to, like Mother Nature, Source will send that energy and that frequency where it needs to go so it can serve a purpose. So never feel bad that, or feel like the energy and the love is a waste of any kind. That's listening to your heart and fulfilling, you know, what you feel is the best. But sometimes when we do those things, we end up betraying our own heart, and we end up giving to people who don't value it, and then we end up feeling bad or resentful that they're not appreciating the blessing that you've just given them. And then we end up it ends up making us feel like we're not good enough in some kind of way, because the gift that you are giving is not being received as that beautiful gift. So that's why you have to learn when that energy needs to be turned within you, and that blessing needs to be given to you. You've earned it. You've worked hard for it. It's time for you to appreciate all your hard work, your love, and your energy. And don't give it away to people who aren't going to value it and appreciate it. They didn't bust their butt to get that type of energy and compassion, you know? So it shouldn't be just freely given away to anyone and everyone. You got to protect your heart. All right, but let me keep going. Let's see what else this says. We have sweetness. Oh, all right. Well, good. This ties into what I was saying. This, you being more tender and gentle with yourself. This is like an awakening that's taking place within. You may be starting to see certain patterns, things that start to come up into your mind. Like I was saying, it's sudden awakenings where things just go boop. Oh, here's something for you to process and look at, because there's a new version of you. You know, you've shed your skin from an old version of yourself, or you will be shedding a skin from an old version of yourself, and learning that you can make a choice and that you have the freedom to choose to appreciate your own heart and to love yourself more and have healthier relationships, so that you can find somebody who values you and loves you. But first you have to do that for yourself. You have to love and value yourself first, so that other people don't take advantage of you. Ooh, the alchemical artist. Yeah. It's about you transforming, you using your gifts to, one, experiment with yourself before trying to just give them away to others. You know, your energy and your love is precious, and it's something that, you know, shouldn't be just given freely for anyone and everyone, because not everybody is appreciative of it. Sometimes it can, especially if you have, like, sometimes people can do that. They just, like, it's in their nature to just love and love. But if you find yourself in a place where it's hitting a trigger, or it's hitting an old memory or an old wound, it's showing you that there's a pattern there that needs to be healed. And if you're doing things because it's just in your nature and you love them, then there wouldn't be this resentment or an emotional energetic charge that's negative and a low vibration if you didn't have a healed wound. So just pay attention. If you're doing things and you find yourself being resentful, or you have an energy of low worth and not being appreciated and not valued and seen, or there's any energy of guilt or shame, then there's a pattern there, and there's something that needs to be healed within, so that you're not doing things out of fear and out of guilt. You're doing things out of love and inspiration, and because you were guided to do them. That's a higher vibrational way of seeing things and doing things and living from that space. Ooh, we have freedom again. Look at that wild spirit. The freedom horse. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change. And accomplish your dreams. Yay! So some of you are setting yourself free from having to experience those types of energies and those types of people. It's doing that healing work. We're learning how to practice self-care and self-love and value yourself first, so that you teach people how to treat you. You teach people your boundaries. You teach them how to respect you, how to love you, the type of love that you're looking for, and the type of love you want in your life supporting you. This is the energies I like. This is the type of love I like. This is my love language. And I don't want people in my life who are just here to, hold their hand out and take from me and not really want to have an actual relationship where we're relating and there's an exchange of energy and information and love and we inspire one another. I don't want relationships that are like that. I want people who energize me and make me feel good, and I make them feel good, and there's this fun relationship that we have. That's healthy. Infinite of possibilities. Look at this unicorn. And that's almost like this one here, the ether. This is about the creation, the possibility of creating and having the ability to free yourself from these patterns and to reprogram yourself with new, healthier, loving, peaceful patterns. And it's the unicorn. That's that pure, innocent energy, the sweetness here. You are the sovereign of the seen and the unseen world. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirit's flight. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and beyond the legendary. Ooh, that's amazing. Okay, so some of you are coming into sacred union within yourself. You've healed, like I was saying, you've healed the inner child. You've mastered the ego and the mind and brought them into balance and harmony within. And now there's this potential to create from your heart space, from freeing yourself from these patterns, breaking out of these cycles so that you can start something new and create something new for yourself. Becoming that, shedding the skin of the old and embracing your higher self, your higher divinity here. Look at these hands. They're just outpouring with blessings. The creative potential. What else do we have? We have Protector, White Stag. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. Alright, so you are an old soul, and you have many potentials to create. And I feel like these are just old cycles, old patterns that you freed yourself from, or you will be freeing yourself from. I love that you have this freedom twice, and we have the ether with infinite possibilities. You're being asked to make a choice, to choose something different, to free yourself from these patterns and these types of relationships, and embrace, your ability to love yourself, to protect your own heart, to make choices and decide who is worth having that connection with. Revealer of truth, the coyote. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. That's the truth being revealed. Being able to see. Read the energies. Read the individual. Know their intentions when they're, you know, telling you their stories, or their, you know, somebody trying to manipulate you and guilt you. You know, what energy are they trying to invoke out of you? And it's being sovereign, knowing that this individual is just trying to manipulate my energy and use my energy without my permission. Like, I am the one who chooses how I feel about an individual, and not letting anybody guilt you or shame you or try to use your energy against you or to manipulate you. It's becoming more confident and secure and sovereign in your own energy. And sovereign just means you have the power and the authority over how you feel and how you allow others to make you feel. And it's, you know, people can say things to try and invoke rage out of you, to then be like, haha, I knew you were going to react that way, and I got your power. I just took your power away because I knew that's how you would react, and I got you to react that way. And so now you're wasting your energy in a lower vibration because this person knew how to manipulate you and make you feel a certain kind of way, you know. It's sometimes it's putting on that, what is it? How can I say this? It's almost like not even responding and giving them that reaction, you know. It's not giving them the satisfaction of knowing that they can, you know, you don't even want to let them make you feel that way. But sometimes you can, but not react where they can see you. You know what I mean? That way they don't know what's going to hurt your feelings. And, you know, if you're in a relationship with them, yes, you want to have those kinds of conversations. But if there's somebody who's in your life who's very manipulative and just very nasty and stuff like that, like, it's just completely disengage with them entirely. Like, I know the game that you're playing. I know you just want me to be mad or be jealous, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not giving you that satisfaction because I could, you know, care less. You're not going to use my energy against me. You're not going to manipulate me. You're going to make me feel a certain kind of fucking way. Oops. Yeah, pardon me. Pardon my French. But yeah, I've been around those types of people, and I know that they're playing games, and I don't play them. Like, yeah, you think you can manipulate me, but you can't unless I allow you to. And that's the thing, is you allow people to reveal themselves to you, and that's why you have to protect your heart. It's not everybody is so deserving. And when you observe people's movements, observe their behavior, observe their actions, do they match the words that they say? You know, their actions and their words, do they line up? You know what I mean? And it's watching them and getting to know them over a certain period of time. It's not just taking their word for something and, you know, 2 weeks you know an individual, and that's not the case. It takes time for people to, like, take the mask off and expose their real self, you know. See how they handle conflict. How do they handle good times and bad times, and they receive, you know, blessings? Are they generous, you know? Things like that. If their family is sick, you know, are they there to support them? How do they, you know, I don't know, how do they love? How do they express their love? There's so many things that we should observe in individuals before we decide, you know, that I want to be in a relationship with you. And I think a lot of people, some people just rush in too quickly because of the hormones and everything like that, and the chemistry and stuff, and it's too much too soon, or too little too soon, actually, because you don't quite know an individual. And sometimes, yes, there can be love at first sight. I'm not saying that there isn't, but, you know, just if you've experienced little hardships and struggles, and there's been these, you know, not so good in the relationship department, then this is the lessons that you are learning, and why it's so important for you to protect your heart and take care of yourself. We have White Woman Buffalo, the prophetess, okay, of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. And it is, and I can attest to that. When you start loving yourself and you start pouring into yourself, other people, like, you start to glow up, you know, you start to shine, you start to become more attractive to others because you are now becoming a magnet for that energy of love, because you're pouring your own love into yourself, and so the energy's flowing in that direction. So you become this like magnet for all things that are loving, abundant, and it just gives you a sense of gratitude. So your heart just kind of just starts filling up with more and more sweetness and love and joy and happiness, and you start attracting more of those things in your life because it's like falling in love with you and realizing that you don't really need anything outside of yourself, that we shouldn't be seeking validation from anything external. It comes from within, from you loving yourself, from you, for you taking care of yourself and tending to your needs and not ignoring how you feel and shoving them down. Is acknowledging your boundaries, acknowledging your energetic body. You know, how does your body feel? What are your psychic senses telling you? Are you picking up on some manipulative energies from an individual? You sense that they're lying. Those are all the red flags, and it's not ignoring the red flags, it's honoring how you feel and listening to that. Those are all your psychic abilities, are tools for you to use how to navigate this realm. We can't see everything because people aren't truthful. People don't just come out and tell you these are, you know, my issues and I'm working on this and I'm working on that. You know, it's something that's revealed over time of getting to know them. That's why it's essential not to rush into love. You have to kind of know an individual first. After, you know, a couple of years, and I mean, I'm sure sometimes that's a little unrealistic for some people, but, you know, I truly think that's when we, you know, get to know an individual over a longer period of time than just a couple months, before you finally start seeing the walls come down and the truth being revealed, you know? All right, let me see. I think I did these a little backwards. Oh well. All right, we have Sarah Day Debbie. Yeah, I could be butchering these names, so I'm so sorry. We have the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. More confirmation to love yourself, to forgive yourself, not to be so harsh and critical of your choices. When you know better, you do better. Okay? And if you don't do better, it means that there is something within you that is lacking your love and your attention, and it needs some healing so that you can learn to love yourself and appreciate yourself more and want the best for yourself. Giving that unconditional love. You're growing, you're learning, we're making mistakes, and you have to make mistakes in order to learn what you do and what you don't want. That's you're testing the energies out by going through these experiences, and we can try to perceive things in our mind what it's going to be like, but until we actually experience it, that's where the wisdom comes in. The wisdom comes in from the experience of doing and going through something. And then once you go through something, then you attain, you know, the tools, the awareness, the perspective, and the wisdom from that. You know, well, I did this and this didn't really go well, so I tried doing it this way, and this didn't really go that well, so I tried it another way, and I finally found the way, you know, the correct way, the way that I enjoy it, the way that makes me feel good, those types of things. And it's having that understanding and forgiveness for yourself for, you know, having to go through so many experiences before you find, you know, what is in an alignment with your soul and with your heart. Because like I said, not everybody is truthful and wearing their heart on the sleeve and exposing, you know, all of their traumas and their, you know, sometimes you don't even know that something is still in there unresolved until it's triggered by someone or something or a situation. Okay. This one was about, you know, detaching from the emotions a little bit and having a shift in perspective. Spending some time alone to self-reflect a little bit, right? And have a little bit of a time out to observe things from a distance, from a higher perspective, you know, detaching from the emotions being so strong, so overwhelming. Oh, sorry, I had to drink something. Because sometimes our emotions can get away with us, you know, our mind can get away with us. We can have fearful thoughts or very disturbing emotions. But this is about observing things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective even, and freeing yourself from the situation, allowing yourself to grieve, to forgive, to move forward, to shift, to change, to grow, to see what things were working, what things weren't working. You know, it's always good to reassess your situation in your life. Sometimes I think that's what a lot of people take the New Year's for, is they, you know, at the end of the year, we're going through that hibernation process where we have an internal review and we look over the year that we just have been through and come through, and what lessons did we learn from the year, what value did this year bring to my life, what things do I need to shift, you know, is there any habits that I picked up along the way that I need to let go of and change and move forward with, you know. And so it's that reassessment that needs to take place. And it's taking a step back and observing things from a different perspective and detaching from an emotional connection to something, so that we're not looking at things from an emotional viewpoint. We need to let our emotions settle so we can have this clarity of mind, so that we're not irrationally thinking and making choices and reacting. You know, we want to be able to respond from a calm place, from an objective place. It's like when you get triggered by something that somebody said, but it's not necessarily that individual. It's what they said that triggers a memory within to come up to the surface. And when that memory comes up, you start feeling emotional about it. Like there's this emotion that was suppressed at that time that that memory took place. And it's that emotion that's wanting to be released. It's that memory that wants to be healed. It wants you to give love and encouragement and confidence or forgiveness, whatever is necessary in that moment where you felt alone or abandoned or unloved. That is where you need to apply your healing, love, and forgiveness and non-judgment. You know, it's just that's the choice I made. This is who I was, and at the time, for me, that was what was best. Or I was just reckless, and I was making those choices, but I was young, and you know, who I am today is because of those mistakes and because of those choices. And now I know better, so I do better, and I want to free myself from having to experience this type of, you know, feeling like I'm not good or I'm not lovable or I'm not deserving, or, you know, guilt, shame, whatever it is, apply to yourself. Just take what resonates, you guys. All right, final card, we have Lakshmi and Ganesh. Prosperity vibration. You are attracting health, wealth, and happiness. So I feel like this, you know, Ganesh is always the remover of obstacles. So I feel like you're being asked to, of course, create some change and shifts in the love yourself. This is the opportunity to free yourself from certain patterns and to make a choice, you know, a new choice to set yourself free and to liberate yourself and protect your heart, pour more love and understanding and appreciation into your own energetic field, and to value your happiness, value your heart, value your emotions and your energies. You know, they're there. It's your tools to help you navigate this world so that you can find the things that light your heart on fire and the people that light your heart on fire. They remind you of the divine. They remind you of that love that you're looking for. But it's something that comes from within. You have to create it within your own heart space for your own self. You have to love yourself that much. So that way somebody else will love you just as equally that much, because of the way you love yourself is beautiful, you know. It's not from a place of ego and selfishness. It is that you have love and respect, because you have to see yourself as the divine. You're part of the divine. We are all, you know, source in the flesh. We're all just little pieces and sparks of source. And so source wants you to love yourself, you know, and not to see yourself as unworthy and undeserving. Alright, I'm going to get you one final message, just because I think it would be beautiful to have. So these are from Source, from the universe here. Get you a closing message for pile number 1. Message for pile number 1, please, from the Akashic Records. Source Creator, we have discovering. Today, I release my old beliefs, convictions, and preconceived notions. In their place, I seek new ideas, innovation, and endless possibilities. Ooh, there's some possibilities. I am adaptable. I am able to see beyond my previous limitations and discover greater worlds inside of me. I love that. I'm going to get you one more. See, and this is, see how she's walking up these steps? This is that transformation that's choosing to move forward, upward and on, and allowing like this love to just flow towards you. All right, we have letting go. Today, remembering that God's source is within and around me. I release myself to God's source's hands and regain my inner peace. I know that God is providing me that which is most beneficial for my soul. I know that God is sending angels to help me face any difficulties that arise, and I let go into God's will, knowing that the best is yet to come. So that is the offering, giving these energies, cleansing, purifying, healing, overcoming. Yeah, we'll put those in the center there. All right, pile number 1. I'm going to go ahead and close this reading out. I think it's been long enough. This was your divine message from the Akashic Records. Thank you for being here with me today in the Healing Temple. If these messages were meant for you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below if you feel like sharing with me, or just leave an emoji. I appreciate any subscriptions and everybody for helping me grow this channel. Sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading, pile number 2. You chose the Nirvana Quartz, which I was explaining in the intro, is a mineral sediment that is collected after the glaciers have been melting. So, and of course, any of y'all know about the melting of the glaciers and the rising of the sea levels. This is from a glacier in the Himalayas. So it's got a lot of ancient wisdom, which is why I decided to go ahead and pull it for this Akashic Record reading, because it has so much ancient wisdom, and it is called the Nirvana Quartz because it's one that helps liberate your mind. It helps bring peace of mind so that you can be calm and in the present moment. Our mind likes to get away with us with this constant monkey chatter, and it always has us looking either towards the past or the future, and we're never really in the present moment. So this is a great crystal to work with to help bring that nirvana energy, that blissful, peaceful energy in. Okay, so your card says Mayan Master Akbal. Sanctuary, be still. Go within to your inner sanctum. It is time to awaken within the dream. Which is so wild that this came out with the Nirvana Quartz, because this is about having that peace within, that peace of mind. be still. It's time to go within your inner sanctum. This is entering the mind space into that stillness. This is about meditation, being more in the present moment, more grounded and connected to Mother Nature. I've said in many of my readings, when you are spending time in nature, even if you're just outside, chilling in a lawn chair, sky gazing, watching the trees and the birds, it calms the mind down. It brings you into the present moment because all of your senses are being engaged with the right here, right now, with the breeze, the visions that you're seeing, the energy of being grounded and connected to Mother Earth. There is a calming, peaceful energy, a cleansing, healing, nurturing energy that comes from that space, and it slows the mind down so that it's not in this rapid fire of thoughts. So let's see what the Akashic Records wants to reveal to you other than this peace of mind. We have the luminescence. It's about a ripple effect, creating something from your heart. Even the smallest action creates a ripple effect. The smallest good deed, the kindest act. We have the portal keeper. Okay, there's something here about accessing different timelines. When you're going within, this creates a sense of peace. You're able to have a more observing perspective. It calms the mind down so that you can be more observant versus reactive. It helps give you more clarity of mind, seeing things from different angles, different perspectives, so that you can make a choice, a better choice. There's many realities that are happening at once. There's the version of you who said yes and the version of you who said no, playing out in the same timeline. It's just like you and an individual can be in a room and witnessing, something happen with other individuals, and then when you hear the story being repeated back by these two individuals, each one has, not everyone can repeat the story back as is. That takes somebody who's very aware, very connected to themselves, and having clear, cleansed emotional and mental filters, right? Most people, when they're relaying a story back, they kind of put a little spin on it. They flavor it by how they think either the individual is thinking. They don't remember all the words, so they paraphrase it, and they give you like the gist of what was being said, but some of it gets taken out of context. It's never repeated back the same way, by these individuals. Everybody is seeing things through their own lens, through their own experience, through their own programming. And so you can be in the same room having the exact same experience with someone else, but they could be seeing things from a negative perspective, and you can be seeing them from a positive perspective, and looking at the good things. And I used to do this with my children because of the way social media is and the programming that, society and they want us to be programmed. They show you all the negativity on the news. Oh, the world. Oh, there was this shooting. Oh, there was this murder. Oh, these horrible things that are happening. And they don't talk about the good things, the new discoveries, you know what I mean? And, oh, this individual went and did this good deed. We don't see a lot of those, and there's not a lot of hyping that goodness up in the world. They always want to hype the negativity because they want us to feed the fear and the worry and the hate and the stress. They want us feeding lower vibrational energies to keep us trapped in control. And so what I would do with my children is, if we were watching the news and let's say there was a fire and or there was a murder, whatever it was, what the case was, is even though they were trying to focus on this horribleness, I was like, look at all those angels helping that person out, showing them that there is not just this one-sided viewpoint. There's many interpretations, and there's many ways to observe and see things, and it's teaching yourself how to program your mind, how to interpret the energies of what you're seeing. And you can make a choice to see things from this perspective or this perspective. It's all up to you and what reality you want to be existing and living in. And so I would show them, I would point out the firefighters, you know, but look at all those people coming to help. Look how many good people there are in the world, you know, and that's how I raised my children, is seeing the positivity. It's not being blinded and saying that the negativity don't exist, but it's not focusing on that. That does exist so that we can appreciate the positive, good things in life. And we have to have both. But there's not just hate and anger and rage and greed and racism in the world. There's a lot of love and people who care and are bringing the change and want change in the world. So it's all in how we see and interpret things and what we want to choose to create for ourselves, and how we observe the environment that we are in, and what lens are we using when we observe things. Are we looking at them through, you know, a dirty filter, or is the mind calm and we're observing things from a peaceful place? We have Beyond the Mind. You know, this is about calming the mind down. Observing not only with our mind, but observing from the heart space, coming out of the mind and entering the heart. Because the mind sometimes can run away with us, right? Sometimes people think the worst thing every time there's a problem. You know, the mind wants to immediately respond with fear and worry and stress. Oh no, we got a flat tire. Oh no, I can't pay my bills. What am I going to do? And granted, some of those things are stressful, and I'm not saying that they aren't, but I mean, it's having understanding that certain things are beyond our control, and to trust ourselves to handle certain situations the best that we can, and not to feed an energy of worry or feed an energy of regret in the past of something that's years in the past, and we can't do anything about it now besides change and move forward and learn from that experience. If you constantly find your mind wanting to stay in the past, it's preventing you from experiencing all the blessings and the beauty of being right here in the present moment. And so it's having that control over the mind and over your perspective of where you're choosing to live and exist through, you know, what you're entertaining. What are you focusing on? What are you creating with your focus? Because you have the choice to choose, you know, which parallel universe you want to be existing in, because they all are existing at the same time. Like I said, there's a version of you that said no, a version of you that said yes, and both of them exist right here, right now, playing out that scenario. And then as that individual who said yes or no is given another opportunity, another choice, well, then there's two more parallel realities where there was another choice made, and I said yes this time, and I said no this time. And so those are running side by side. And so as you shift your perspective and choose to see things, and it's choosing to see things from a more heart-centered space, of picking and finding the highest vibration of love, that's your authentic self, that's more coming from a place of love, authenticity, appreciation, things that light you up and bring more joy into your life, you're going to get yourself to your highest timeline where you are connecting to like that master within, your divine self, you know, and realizing where have you been falling asleep, where have you just been going through, you know, life and not really in control, not really focusing and setting an intention for the life that you want to be living. Are you just allowing yourself to be programmed to see things from somebody else's perspective of how they see things, and not really connecting within and getting to know your truth? You know, how do you really see and perceive things? Let's see what else we have. We have pain. We have there are no wrong turns. Okay. So, I mean, you may have some emotions that are in there. They're painful emotions, maybe choices that you've made, you know, you didn't really, you're not too proud of, and You know, everybody, I believe, in their life, we've all made mistakes, and it's part of the growing and learning process. We have to know through the experience of what is good for us and what's not good for us by going through it, by making those choices. So there's no wrong choice. You're just learning what's right for you, what's good for you. And so allow yourself to forgive yourself. Let go of anything that's in the past that has you focusing and being stuck on a specific timeline where you can't move forward because you can't allow yourself some kind of forgiveness, or you haven't healed or moved on from that experience. And so what advice I can give you is, if there's something in the past that's very painful, is to allow yourself to grieve about the experience. Allow yourself to, you know, cry it out, to hug yourself, to comfort yourself, whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you went through. It is allowing yourself to be able to let it go and to move forward. And letting it go doesn't mean it's okay and I'm ignoring it and pretending like it didn't happen. It's releasing yourself from being trapped in that moment of having to experience it every day of your life over and over again, where it's kind of limiting you and keeping you, a part of your soul, trapped in the past. You know, it wants to be free, it wants to be liberated and healed and whole. You know, it doesn't want to be fractured and separated from, you know, connecting to your heart. It doesn't want to be sitting out here in the outskirts waiting for you to finally say, okay, I'm accepting that this was part of my experience. This is what happened. If this was my choice or this wasn't my choice, this is what I went through. My soul went through this. And I can't deny that that was part of my experience and part of my soul learning and my growth. And I had to go through this experience, and it was very painful and it broke my heart. But I'm going to allow myself to heal. I'm going to heal myself, and I'm going to accept, you know, this experience. I'm going to forgive myself for choosing this type of experience in this incarnation, that I'd have to go through this type of thing to learn this, but I'm learning, and we chose this human experience to go through these unfortunate events that we've all been through in many incarnations as a human being, to gather wisdom and knowledge and to be more connected to Source Creator through our creative abilities. It's so horrible. I mean, like, we wanted to learn, you know, what it was to create, and we wanted to learn and feel the full spectrum of emotions. And Earth is a place for that, because it's not just only love, you know, which is in the higher realms, with everything is all love. And so here in the 3D, which is like the lowest you can go, I believe, and still have like a human vessel, like a body of consciousness like we have. And here in this plane, we have that duality of existence, you know, and so we have pain, we have anger and rage and fear and, you know, rape and murder and all those types of things that are very low vibrational. And so we experience some of them, and it's the most painful thing any of us have ever experienced, because we're not used to that. You know, we're used to being nothing but infinite love and truth and, you know, unconditional, you know, health and wealth and prosperity, and having everything at, you know, the edge of our fingertips, you know, just think it and there it is. And here that's not the case. Everything is very slow, very dense. It takes a lot of time and energy and effort in order to manifest something here in the physical plane. And we're not used to that. And we're also not used to the amount of pain and anger and darkness that exists in this realm either. And so we're all trying to navigate and find a way out of this darkness, and then remember to keep our hearts intact. But our heart is our compass. Our heart is what guides us back to our home, to our inner sanctuary. But unfortunately, our hearts get broken along the way because we trust the wrong people. We put our you know, our soul into the hands of others who don't really appreciate and value it. We are raised by individuals who are broken as well, and, you know, they don't know how to navigate this man suit properly, and there's no there's no books to tell us how to do this. So we all kind of get like you know, everybody gets a hand that they're dealt, and we all do the best we can with what we're given. And we're all trying to restore our hearts, to find our peace, to find our bliss, to reconnect ourselves and align back to source. And in order for us to do that, we have to release and surrender the things that were painful that we experienced along the way. And it's not easy, and I'm not saying that it is. It takes, you know, commitment. It takes you to, when you feel those feelings, to allow yourself to process them, to cry them out, to feel them. And this is what releases them. This is what letting go means. It means that you feel those emotions and you allow yourself to grieve. You allow your heart to heal through feeling the pain and allowing it to move out. Your tears are healing waters, and they help you to process them. And when you finally release them and let them go, they no longer have this like intensity anymore. They're no longer like fired up water molecules. They're finally allowed to be like, woo. And it brings in that calm water, that calming, cleansing energy where you can see things from a higher perspective with more clarity, more peace of mind, because you're not on the edge of like boiling water where everything is so like staticky and, you know, tense, and the mind's talking 50 miles an hour because it doesn't want you to feel. It doesn't want you to, you know, release and let this go because it wants all the control. But your heart wants healing. Your heart wants to come back together to wholeness. So I feel like that's what is in your Akashic Records. That's what they're telling you right now, that this may be a phase that you're stepping into in this coming year. All right, let me see what else comes through here. We have good luck, Ladybug. You are a bright energy. What is it? Oh, let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Feel good about being you. Let go of the worry and be happy in the here and the now. Okay? Time to become more present and connected with the version of you that exists here and now, and to bring all those parts of you that are still in the past, that are trapped in pain, and to bring that healing energy within so that you can become more present to the present moment. And the best way I can suggest is spending some time in nature, because it helps you be more reflective and going within. If listening to guided meditations helps you, because some people, you know, just aren't outdoorsy people, and to each their own. Some people need that guided meditation to help bring their mind down. You know, whatever it does, whatever works for you, it's finding that place that helps you reflect and go within. If it's journaling and writing things down, you can write your memories out, write your thoughts out, write your emotions out, so you can see things from an objective point of view. We have action. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. You have a lot of good luck and success coming in for you here. This is more about spending time in reflection and allowing time to just not exist. You know, when you're in this moment, when you're in this reflective time, like time doesn't exist for you there. You're just in a state of bliss and connection within. And it can be very, very peaceful, because when you finally make that inner connection where you find the thing that makes you feel like nurtured and loved and protected and seen and felt and understood, there's such this feeling of bliss and calmness and peace and joy. Yeah, and don't let time just pass you by and you not finding the things that make you feel good in life. You know, it's time for you to take action. And we have these lotus. You know, lotus are, they have to like work through, they're grown out of mud, you know. And so it's very dark before they finally break through the surface, and then they bloom once they reach the light. And so all of us, we are born in the mud, we're born in the darkness, and we have to fight our way to the surface, to bloom, to shine our light, to find the light. You know, it's that work that's involved. Let's see what else. We have Kalima, divine severance. Cut the cords to dramas, to fears and limitations. Yeah. Kalima is an energy of, it's almost like divine justice here. Cutting the cords to the past of anything that doesn't support you moving forward, that isn't loving and kind and bringing you joy and health and happiness. It's letting go of the things that have hurt you in the past so that you can move forward, letting go of any blockages, things that limit you from being in the present moment so that you can enjoy the life, letting go of relationships that are toxic and aren't healthy for you and supportive. We have Lady Venus, light activation, a call to action, a power surge, and an earth mission. And I feel like once you cut the cords here, and you release and surrender, and you heal and allow the energies to flow and to move, you're gonna be like so enlightened and inspired and full of joy. And there's gonna be this light that just shines on your life. You're gonna be able to see things clearly from a more loving perspective here. Yeah, you're just gonna feel like so good. You will. I mean, at first it's gonna be a little challenging. It is anytime there's change being implemented into your life. But once you are walking, like, it's just keep making a step every day and keep moving forward, and then finally that will become the new path. And it's just a steady stride. It becomes easier and easier and easier, and then the path will be illuminated for you. And then it just becomes like your second nature. That's who you are. We have Rita of Cassia, a patroness of impossible causes. I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibilities. Nice. We have Queen Esther, the morning star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Yeah, this is a healing the ego. You know, our ego is the part of our mind that took over in the times when we suppressed our emotions. The emotions weren't acknowledged, they were ignored, they were squished down because they were too painful to feel. So then the ego takes over, and the ego tries to logically rationalize, you know, why it's okay, or how to navigate the situation, or it records the pain. And so then anytime something happens in our life in the later years and it triggers that memory up, the mind automatically responds with something negative or something fearful to remind us, like, oh no, this is happening again, you know. And so initially it wants to help, but it also wants to control us. And so if we're not careful, the ego can run away with us and try to prevent you from seeing things from a different perspective, or from healing or moving on. It's almost like, you're seeing things from a past perspective versus what's really happening in this now moment. It's still seeing things from the past, from a place that hasn't been healed yet. And so try to make sure that when you are having something surface for you, or you're going through a new challenge or experience, that you're not being triggered by something from the past, and that you're seeing things as they are happening in the now moment. And if it is triggering something in the past, it's just coming to the surface now because there's a part of your soul that wants healing and believes that you're more aware and conscious and ready. And now is the time for you to heal this moment in your life where a part of your soul is still feeling in pain, or feeling abandoned and unloved and not valued or worthy in some kind of way. And so you're being asked to just shine your love and your light and your attention on those situations. Allow that emotion to process and move through you without holding on to it or judging it or analyzing it. Like, this is my feeling and I feel this way right now. So I feel sad and I'm going to allow myself to be sad, you know? And it's not saying that you're having a pity party or anything like that. It's, I just got triggered by a memory, and I remember this was my experience, and I felt, you know, so bad in this moment. And, you know, I felt like this and that, and allow yourself to have those genuine feelings. Anybody who experienced that would feel that way, and it's okay to feel that way, you know. And for some reason we're not allowing ourselves to feel our natural human emotions about things that are heartbreaking and hurtful and painful to experience, you know. It is, it's sad and it's heartbreaking, and it is valid. And that's the thing, you just need that validation and that understanding, and somebody there supporting you while you go through that moment. And that person is you being that person for yourself, because in that moment there wasn't anybody there, and now they're still feeling abandoned and alone. And so the only person who can do it is you. You have to be that person who goes in and goes back to that younger version of yourself. And it's like a form of time travel. You're going back to a past version of yourself, and you're being there to support you in that moment, so that they have more understanding, more healing, more nurturing energy, you know, more awareness, so that they can bring that version of themselves, can then move forward on their timeline to join you here in the now, in the present moment, okay? I hope this is making sense. All right. Your final card is Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that that's here with the Queen Esther, the morning star, and the light activation. You know, this is a beautiful energy right here. This is some healing, loving, nurturing, mothering energy coming back into that heart space, putting more love, more light, shining your awareness and your attention into those parts of you that are very feeling abandoned and alone and in pain, and shining your love and your light and your affection and healing, nurturing energies onto those moments, so that you become, that place that's within you becomes your sacred space. You know, you can connect to your heart and not have that pain come up in surface to show you, oh, you've experienced this trauma in this situation, and you still haven't dealt with it, and it gets bigger and bigger and scarier because it's wanting your attention, you know. And to see that as it's your inner child who feels alone, vulnerable, naked, and scared and afraid, and it just wants you to love it, to nurture it, to cover it, protect it, to shower your love and your attention, and validate the experience that that version of you had experienced, and still is having a hard time processing, moving forward from it. And they're like trapped in time. You know, they're trapped in that moment, and they want liberation, they want freedom, they want somebody to connect to their heart, you know, and see them and acknowledge that experience, and that there is somebody who loves them and will protect them and shine their heart, or shower their heart with love and attention and affection, and that person is you. All right, let me get you one more card to close out your reading. Just a final message. Those were your Akashic Record reading. All right, we have, God sustains me as I turn each day over to God. My worries cease and my resistance softens. In the arms of God's love, I find inner peace, even in the challenging times. Today, my faith provides me with great strength. I welcome all that comes my way, knowing that the love of God sustains me. And this is the love of you is going to be, when you connect to your heart, this is you connecting to source, to all that is. And When you start pouring your love in to your own being, to your own vessel, it's you showing appreciation for all of life, for all that exists, even for yourself, knowing that God exists within you. Therefore, you are a part of God. We all are little sparks of source. So the more love you're giving to yourself is the love that you're giving the source. All right, a gift from life. Look at this. See, this is you, the version of you as an adult, loving and holding your little version of you, your inner child, the part of you that was, hurt, that felt abandoned, that felt unloved, not protected. This is you healing the heart of that inner child and reconnecting to that younger version of yourself and protecting you, nurturing you, loving you, and giving that validation and healing. Each day, life offers me abundant proof that the universe loves me. Each day, God sends angels to help me, and today I will receive an angelic message. It may come from somebody with whom I speak with, or whom words that I've had read. I will listen closely, as this message is a divine gift meant to help me make my way in love and to maintain my spiritual strength. Oh, I love that for you, pile number 2. What great confirmation for you to go within and heal your inner self. This was your divine message today, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here with me in the temple. I hope these messages serve you on your journey going forward. Feel free to comment or share your story below if this reading resonated with you, or if you just want to leave an emoji, that's fine. I appreciate all your likes, your subscriptions, and any support in growing my channel. I am sending you all of my love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You were drawn to the card of Self-Mastery and the Lemurian Quartz crystal. I love the stone. I work with this one a lot. It is said to have been found in the desert, in the sand, that they were buried by the owners of these crystals. And they are said to be, when they find their original owner, that they will reveal the records that are stored on the surface of the stones when the time is ready. So it's a great stone for meditation. And then we have this self-mastery. Let's read it here. Ascended Master Serapis Bey. Take time for spiritual practices and inner work. Spiritual discipline is required for your next step. And so in this card here, we have the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown being activated. The upper chakras here. So this is about your inner truth, your perceptions, and then your connection to your divine self here, your divinity. So it's your inner world, your outer world, and that unification. I mean, this could also be your higher heart chakra. We will see. Bringing that heart and mind balance. Yeah, because we got this Merkaba right here. 2 of them. All right, what do we got? We got the Internal Explorer. Going within. Yeah, mastering your mind, mastering your emotions, learning your truth. What else we got? Full spectrum. Alright, there's one more of these. Let me see. On the furred and feathered friends. Okay, so your Akashic Records are revealing a time in your life where there's a need for more introspection, more of a going within, to pause, to reflect, spending time in nature, learning your, like making your friend your shadow, befriending your shadow, healing the ego, healing the mind, transforming the mind, transcending the mind, transcending the shadows even, going within to that still place where you can surrender and be more in a state of flow and releasing the things from the past that are no longer serving you and your growth, and realizing that the things of the past that you've went through, they serve as like the soil for you to grow from, so that you can evolve and become your higher self, so that you can become the master of, the lower dimensions here. Yeah, it's a process of going within to master your spiritual practices here, spending more time in nature, more time in meditation, and being more in a reflective state. We have energy. Befriend your fear monster. It's confirmation of going within. So a lot of times, and some of you may have come from pile 2, because I believe we were talking about this in pile number 2, about befriending your ego and your fears and releasing your pain, and that the monster within is really just your inner child that feels completely alone and abandoned because it's been through all of these painful experiences, and with the child's mind of not understanding what they were experiencing and how to process their emotions and how to, understand how to navigate the situation. They don't have the tools. And if we didn't have an enlightened parent who was guiding us and understanding things in a way that a child could understand, which, it depends on the age that you were going through your situation and what type of parents you had. Not all of us were blessed with parents who didn't have some kind of trauma and were in the middle of their trauma while they're having children, So there's a certain amount of things that kind of just get pushed to the side, and a lot of the times it's your children's needs. You don't know, parents don't always understand what their children are going through or what their children's needs are, because everybody's needs are different, and kids can't communicate what their needs are either. So in order for us to heal, we have to be the ones who, go back into our memories and go within and allow ourselves to heal the version of us that's still trapped in the past, having to re-experience this feeling of aloneness and abandonment and fear and pain. And we have to go give that version of ourselves like a big hug and some love and understanding and validation, and allow it to grieve and feel what it's feeling and validate that it's okay to feel that way and that it's normal to feel that way, and it's okay to feel and to have emotions, and to understand that it's part of nature. And anybody who is experiencing that type of situation would feel the same way, and not to deny that truth, and to allow yourself to release it and allow the emotion to flow through your body. Because when we suppress our emotions, it causes disease in the body, because the emotions are water. They're meant to flow and be fluid and move out. And so when we feel an emotion, it comes in and we register it as an energy. This is the energy I'm feeling, and it's giving me this, I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling happy, or I'm feeling inspired. We interpret the energies through our filter. And if our filter has been clogged because there's emotions that are not being allowed to be expressed because they're from a painful past, all of our emotions are going to get kind of jumbled up together, and they're all going to be filtered, through this dirty lens. And so when we finally get in there and start working on unjamming the dam of water and emotions, we start clearing them out and filtering them out, then everything can flow smoothly into our life, and we find a sense of joy and peace and surrender, and we allow things to come into our life, because those things of the past, it's time for them to be, released, so that they can go back to the soil and be used as, nutrients to help grow you and build your soul, because this is what's made you the person that you are today. All things in life have a cycle of death and rebirth, And that's the same for energies. You know, we are all just energy. And so our experiences are also energy. And when we have those painful ones, we tend to hold on to the painful ones. And they end up deterring us from moving forward on the path and achieving this divine connection, connecting to our hearts, connecting to our divine self, to God, to source. You know, we get trapped in the shadows and the darkness of our past and our pain, and we remain like a part of our soul is stuck in the past, repeating it over and over again, feeling abandoned, lost, confused, sad, you know, and experiencing it over and over again until we have somebody who comes in and steps in and saves us. And that person is you. It is you as your higher self going back into the past and, you know, gathering that soul fragment that doesn't feel like it belongs to you, that it's just lost floating around somewhere in space without an owner, without somebody, you know, you've abandoned it. You've decided, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to accept that that happened to me because I don't understand how to process it, or it was so painful and hurtful. You know, I just want to pretend it didn't happen. And so it becomes a ghost of the past where it's not being acknowledged as it was real and it happened. It's part of your story. And so it needs to be reintegrated, and which means it needs to be felt and loved and nurtured and understood, and so it can heal and you can grow and allow it to evolve you into somebody new and more beautiful and more connected to yourself, more connected to God, more connected to nature even. Okay. We have miracles, the hummingbird. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. Beautiful. Let me see what else. We have the mystic, polar bear. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face a... Oh. I'm sorry. Okay, have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Yeah, trust in yourself and have faith in yourself that you can do this inner work, this healing. You can overcome and master these energies. You're the one who's going to bring this divine healing, and it's like this miracle is going to happen in your life. It's going to feel like a miracle when you go through this healing journey, because it is going to make you stronger in the end. Ooh, we have Old Soul, the black jaguar. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You have the power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. That's awesome. Okay, so some of you are also being gifted the energy to create something from within, like your dreams, to bring your dreams to life, because you have done the healing work. You've mastered yourself. You've gone within. You've healed the shadow. You're in alignment with your higher self, and you're connecting to your soul, like the origins of your soul. You know, your divine self is coming online. And you know that everything that you've been through has served you in some way, and you've taken those energies and you've learned how to grow from them, to make you stronger, to build from them. And like Mother Nature has been a constant guide for you in your life. And the animal kingdom, I feel like you got a lot of animal friends, and you've worked with them side by side, understanding their wisdom. Keeper of secrets, the lynx. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowledge. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. Yeah. When you come to this place of healing within and you know yourself, and it becomes that place where who you are and finding that inner sanctuary that you've created and fostered and nurtured within. You've made peace with the world, and you understand that everything serves a purpose. Like I was saying, everything has a cycle of death and rebirth, and that everything's energy and everything has its own path. Everybody has their own lessons to learn, and so it's easier to step back and have that observing energy where you just observe others on their path of growth and learning. And so you have no judgment against others. This is just source learning, you know, to rediscover itself through this person's eyes, you know, through their journey, through their choices, and that everything serves a purpose, and that everyone is just, you know, growing and learning and doing their best at their own pace. And so be more observing, be more compassionate and understanding for others along their path, and everybody's living from their own place of awareness and consciousness. It makes life so much easier too, because you can have like the emotional detachment from things, you know, and not expecting things from people that can't provide that, you know. It's just being grateful when there is, you know, somebody exceeds expectations, which is why it's so hard to even have any kind of expectation. I mean, there's certain things, yes, I think you should have expectations on, like respect and healthy boundaries, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as far as like, you can't expect people to be someone that they're not, you know. Okay, we have, or they're not ready to be that person yet, because they still are on a healing journey of self-discovery as well. So it's like you can't awaken people before they're ready to be awakened. You can't force anybody to change. You know, it's something that they all have to learn to do on their own, and they have to want to do them. And that's the thing, when people want to change and they want to do better and good for their life, like that's when the teacher appears, because the student reveals themselves. And if you're the student or somebody is the student, they will come to you and seek advice, and they put in the work and do the work, you know, because they've made that choice. Oh. All right, this is about the time of rest and spending time in nature and nurturing yourself. Like the battle, there's been a long battle, and now it's time to rest and rejuvenate and have that peace of mind, peace of heart, serenity, nurturing yourself, just taking a rest and allowing yourself to like be and flow, and allow things to flow into your in and out, allowing the emotions to flow in and out, allowing the thoughts to flow in and out, and not having to control anything or stuff anything down and suppress it. And because when you're in nature, it slows the mind down. So the things that come in are that inner connection that you have within. It's not that, oh, well, tomorrow I gotta do this. Oh, and I gotta, you know, cook this for dinner, and my kids gotta go here, and I gotta pay this bill, blah, blah, blah. It's a completely different, different scenario. Once that ego has been tamed and befriended, it becomes this source of power then, where it's not, it's only being used when you're using it, you know? What if there's no random things showing up, and no, it's so hard to explain until you reach that state where it's just peace, and you're so like in a state of joy and happiness and gratitude, because you're in the present moment. You're not being drawn to the past to help heal a version of yourself that's still stuck in the past, and you're not having any anxiety or fears about the future of the past repeating itself. You know, it's you've done the healing work, and so there's nothing to reflect back on other than your experiences and how far you've come in life, and being proud of yourself of how far you've come, and now being able to rest knowing that you've done the work, that you have made peace within, and that you've reconnected, you know, all the parts of yourself that have been so scattered throughout, you know, it can even be lifetimes of experiences. And like bringing all those parts of yourself back together into wholeness again. It is such a peaceful place to be. We have Paul the Venetian, the gifted one, revealing hidden talents and opportunities to shine. So in this place of rest and flow and reflection is when you're going to receive these downloads, and your gifts will start to come online, like the things that are what you're meant to do, your ability to, your psychic perception, your intuition, all those things start to like come into alignment and start to beam up. You start to glow up, and you just get more connected to the divine, and you just see life as a gift and a blessing. Divine emergence, be seen and let the world know your gifts. Yeah, and there's things that you're meant to share with others, with the world. Inner fire, let your passion lead you to your purpose. Yeah, your heart's going to be guiding the way. So when you're going within your heart space, there's going to be some of your mission, your purpose is going to come online. And so follow your heart. Whatever your heart's desire is, that's what you're being asked to expand on, to live from the heart space, to shine your light, your love, and your compassion onto the world, because that's what you're here to do now. You're here to encourage more living from the heart, connecting to the divine, expressing your love, shining your light, doing things that light you up and make you feel good, sharing your vision of the world, sharing your dreams, your passions, even connecting to other people who are like you, who have a shared vision. Ooh, I don't know how to say this name, so I'm sorry if I butcher it. We have Akilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. There we go. Everything comes from love, the good, the darkness that we see in the world. It all serves a purpose. Without the shadow, we wouldn't be able to perceive light. Without endings, we wouldn't be able to have new beginnings. Like, everything serves a purpose. Everything has a cycle. Everything has an ending and a beginning. And that is the world and the plane of existence that we're all in right now. We're all on Earth, one of the densest planets at the moment, the densest dimension that we can all be in, that exists in a polarity dynamic where we have the opposites at play. And so we're learning to work with these energies and mastering these energies. And the parts of us that are in the darkness are within us. They're in our mind, they're in our hearts, they're in our emotions, the things that we can't see with our physical eyes. And that's the world that needs the illumination. We need to go within and we need to illuminate it, so that once our light is shining within and we illuminate all the parts that are hidden in our subconscious mind and our psyche and our fears, and we bring our awareness and our love to them, that's shining our light and our love into those dark places, we illuminate it, and then we become the divine. We become the master of the inner and outer realms, and the energies and the love that we have within, they start to shine out into the world around us, and we start to illuminate more of the world. And this brings that loving Christ energy here onto planet Earth, which was what our mission and goal is in the beginning anyways. So these are your messages. Like, let me get you a final card, a little message, please. This one. Perhaps one more, please. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, I'm going to take the one that flipped over upside down. And we will read this one first. This one actually came out in pile 2. We have God sustains me. As I turn each day over to God, my worries ease and my resistance softens. In the arms of God's love, I find inner peace even in challenging times. Today, my faith provides me with grace, with great strength. I welcome all that comes my way, knowing that the love of God sustains me. Everything on your path is serving you to awaken to the parts of you that are still sleeping and not awake yet. And this is how we master ourselves. And knowing that you're always being guided to go with the flow and see where the path is guiding you. Everything that's coming in your life is guiding you towards your higher self, towards where where your highest soul growth. I'll put it that way. All right, and we have to restart. My dog started barking. All right, together in the light, I give thanks for all who enter my life. I understand we are all exactly who and where we are supposed to be, and everyone contributes to each other's personal growth. Every reaction someone draws from me is a gift from their soul to mine, meant to help free me from my inner conflicts. Today, by focusing on my development, rather than others' faults, I become one with the divine. Ooh, that's beautiful. Know that everything that we've experienced and that we go through is there to serve us. Like I was saying, everything that comes along our path is guiding us in a certain direction. And if we are met with any kind of resistance or a block or a struggle, it's just redirection. And if we're met with people who challenge us, it is to teach us to learn something about ourselves, and it's also to direct us into things that we want in our life and what we don't want in our life, and things that will serve us and things that don't serve us, and try to find, the lesson and what are you trying to learn from this experience. Where do you need to surrender and let go and just be guided, or where do you need to create any kind of internal shifts or bring healing to an aspect of yourself that has been abandoned, left alone, and needs you to befriend, an aspect, or be there to nurture your inner child where you may have felt abandoned or alone, or were struggling and didn't have anybody to support you, so that you can bring all aspects of yourself to the present moment and the here and now. So that you can see things from a place of love, always. All right, pile number 3, this was your divine message for today. Thank you so much for being here. If any of these messages resonate with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. You can leave an emoji if you don't feel like sharing your story. But I appreciate any of your likes, your shares, or your new subscribers. I appreciate any of the growth to help support my channel. Sending you all of my love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.